Hey guys, welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved. In today's video we're going to be looking at the Argentavis, and I'm just going to be sort of going over why it's essential in this game and also how to tame one of these guys. The best way to do this, I think, I have tested this pen out already with two. I've got this level 15 and there's a level 29 over there. The best way to do this is to use pillars that I find it's the best way anyway. So what you want to do is you want to get 4 pillars on this side. I think you want 5 on this side, yeah, 5 on this side. You could probably do 4 because this one's kind of useless. So let's say 4 pillars on each side with a stone gateway in the middle, and then you want so you want 3, 6, you want 8 ceilings. You could probably do 7, you probably don't need that one up there, but I've put it there anyway because it seems to be quite a bit of a gap. And the reason why this works so brilliantly, guys, is because your Pteradon, if you're using a Pteradon to try and lure the Argentavis back towards your base, the Argentavis can, the Pteradon can actually fly through these pillars with ease. However, the Argentavis has a bigger hitbox and can't actually fit through the pillars. So that makes it extremely easy to do and very easy to use. It is quite a cheap build as well for such a good dino. It is probably the most useful dino in the game, which every player is at some point going to want to tame up. Just to show you guys, so let's have a look at the Pteradon. Now this of course is one that I have put stats into, so it may differ from a basic Pteradon. But if you look at the weight, for example, the weight is the big one really. So on this Pteradon the weight is 159. Normally I think it's around 135, but I have boosted this guy, put stats into his weight because the weight is so low. Now if we head over here and look at this Argentavis, for example, this Argentavis has weight at 440. Now, I haven't put any stats into this one as of yet. His health is 657 and his melee damage is 208%. Now that's really good, the health. If you compare it to this Pteradon, it's an extra 300 and or so points. The movement speed of the Argentavis is not great. However, it makes up for itself in other categories such as the weight and the health. It does more damage than the Pteradon, besides the spin attack. But overall, guys, it is worth it. I'm just going to turn down the the brightness. It was actually dark when I started recording this, so yeah, I upped it all. It's very, very bright this morning on the Ark. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to head over to the mountain over there in the distance. Don't worry, I can't see it on my TV either. You guys won't be able to see it on YouTube. But there, you can see in my peripheral, I'm going to head over there because that's where some Argentavis spawn. And I'll catch up with you guys when I get there because this is going to be a bit of a fly. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Okay guys, so we're just next to this mountain now. If you just fly around the outside of the mountain, you will eventually come across the Argentavis. It's not rare at all. You don't find these guys anywhere near the south zones in the island, so you will have to venture north if that's where you're based. And my controller's cutting out already, thank you very much. Let's hope that doesn't happen when we actually get to one of these guys. There we go. So, as I was saying, these guys do not spawn in the south, so you will have to venture north and easily inland to actually get one of these guys. But I promise it's all worth it. The Argentavis is the best dino on the game in the fact that you use them for absolutely everything. I'm just going to use my spyglass to try and find one. That's definitely not one, that's Apache. Now because we have a level 29 as the highest, I do want to get quite a decent one, and it will also make for good content for you guys as well, because I'll show you guys how to efficiently tame one of these guys up. I won't be using kibble because I haven't got any stegos, and you need stego eggs to make the kibble that these guys like. So I'm just scouting around this mountain, trying to find one, and as I say, I will use the spyglass to try and find a decent one. Ideally level 80 plus, I'm going to say. That should be a pretty good basis. Now you won't find any in there, in the actual mountain, so just make sure you keep heading around the outside, and if you don't see any on your first side of the mountain, don't worry. Around the other side there will more than likely be one. Make sure you check around the tree line as well, because these can spawn a bit further down the mountain. I am quite high up here, that's probably why I'm not going to come across any yet. I'm just going to stop to get my stamina back. And there we go, there's one already. Let's have a look at you. You're level 20, that's not good enough I'm afraid. So I'm going to leave that one. It seems like we have some... Are they saber-tooth? Oh, I can't see because of the wing. Oh well. They shouldn't cause any harm because they're going to be in the air anyway. So that Argentavis spawned down here, so more than likely there's going to be more. There's another one. Or is that the same one? Where's he gone? There he is, level 20. I think that was the same one. Let's have a look at you. Level 15, that's also not good enough. We need to find a better one than that. Let's have a look at you. In the middle. Level 20 as well. Or was that one? Let's just double check. Yeah, so they're both level 20. Unfortunately, that's not what we're looking for. It's always best to try and get a higher level tame before you actually put any stats into them, because the stats generally seem to go up higher. So for example, if a dino has 500 health, let's say he gets 100 health per point. If a dino has 1000 health, going off the same basis, it's all relative, so he will then get 200 points if you put a point into him. Or at least I believe that's how it works. I'm not too sure. Them numbers are completely made up, by the way. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's just the general idea I sort of go off. And like I say, because we have a level 29, I think the next best thing to do is to get a higher level one, so that's what we're going to do. I'll keep looking around this mountain. I'll see you guys in a minute once I find one, and I'll bring you back to it. Oh gosh, you look pretty terrifying. However, there is an Argentavis there. 36, that's not too bad. But I don't think it's high enough still. I mean, if we don't find any more, I think I will just use that guy, because once he's tamed up, he'll get his level boost. Because of course, when you tame a dino, their level increases immediately by a certain percent. So that's level 36. We'll bear that in mind. We'll try and remember where he is. And I've almost done a full loop of the actual mountain now, and I only found the ones that I was showing you guys earlier, and this level 36. So it seems like we might actually have to go for it. Just double checking that there's no more. I can't seem to see any. Okay, so now what you want to do, guys, make sure you have full stamina, especially if you're using a Pteradon, because the stamina isn't great either. That's another plus of the Argentavis as well. Now the Argentavis isn't as fast as the Pteradon, so you won't need to fly as fast as you can. You can just simply, if you're using Xbox, you can just push the analog forward. You don't need to sprint or anything like that. So just make sure you have full stamina, otherwise you might struggle. It just depends how far you go in to tame this guy. I'm going to lead him back to base to where my trap is, and we'll get him locked up in there, and then we'll start knocking this guy out. Now the best way to do it, I find, is to fly directly to the Argentavis, let him hit you once, like that. That'll do. Now that we have his attention, just make sure you stay within range and you don't fly too far away from him. Like I say, he is much slower than your Pteradon, so it makes for an easy sort of guide or lead away. That is not what we want to happen during this. Thank you very much, controller, for that. So now I'm just going to lead this guy back to base. Like this, just making sure that he's still following us. Every now and then, if you guys just let him hit you, that'll make sure that he's still aggroed onto you, so he won't be flying off anytime soon. If you get the right camera angle, you can see him as I've managed to do here, luckily. Now my base is just over here by the beach, so it's not too far to go. Stamina's looking good. Just make sure you keep an eye on the stamina. If you still got quite a bit to go and your stamina's running low, just the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to maybe sprint down to the floor, regain some stamina. The Argentavis will more than likely lose aggro because you're much faster than it, so you'll become out of range. Gain your stamina, try and quickly get back to him, get his attention again, and then carry on with your next leg of the journey. As I mentioned, just keep letting him hit you every now and then. Just don't let him hit you all the time though, because he will eventually do quite a bit of damage. You can always turn around and look. This guy isn't posing too much of a threat damage wise, so it's not too much of an issue. So I'm more than happy just to let him keep hitting me. He's only doing 16 points, where this Pteradon has 500 health, I think. I'm actually using the wrong Pteradon for this. I just realised I'm supposed to be using Yasmin. She has much better stamina than this guy. This nameless one. My base is just down here. Now what you want to do is you want to sort of circle around so that you can get a straight run into the front of the trap. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head down this way. And you can see the trap there just on the right. And that's where the doors are. So just lead him slowly down to the floor. Make sure that he's still in range so that he isn't going to stray elsewhere. Make sure your dinos are set on passive as well, guys, because otherwise they will come and attack. And that's not what you're after. I don't actually think mine are on passive. There we go. So again, didn't get the best run up there. So I'm just going to circle around like so. Thankfully I left the doors open. I've done that before where I've closed the doors behind me. Lead him into the trap. Fly through the side. Like you see, he's now trapped. Sprint around. You can go into the trap. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's get him back down this side. Come on. Run in. Close the door. Job's a good one. So this guy's now trapped in here. I'm just going to double check and make sure all my dinos are on passive before I end up attacking this guy, because I don't want this guy to be killed. And now let's go for the knockout. And when you're attacking the Argentavis with your narco arrows, bear in mind that headshots do, I think it's 300% more damage than body shots. So of course aiming for the head will always knock the dino out quicker. However, with the Argentavis, that rule still applies. However, you will kill him or her if you shoot him or her too many times in the head. So make sure that you mix it up a bit with some body shots as well. Also bear in mind with the fact that narco arrows can take around 5 or 7 seconds to kick in fully. So you can shoot and then maybe you can back off for a second and then he can knock out just like that. Okay, so now that guy is unconscious, get some meat. I'm just going to nick the ones off these guys for now. Now they are carnivores, so they will eat prime meat. Their kibble is, it uses Stegosaurus eggs. So if you have any stego eggs and citronelle fruit, then you can use them. Let's just take a look at this guy's stats as well. Let's have a look. So his weight is 448. That's only 8 points more than my other guys. Hopefully that will get boosted up once he's up. 657 health isn't too bad, melee damage is 130, that should also boost up, and stamina is 520. These guys are really good for transporting goods, so they're really good for metal runs early game before you can get to Quetzal. And also, if you're looking to move base or anything like that, they're really good in that aspect as well. Now, my plan is to tame quite a few of these guys up and have a Argentavis army, and that way I could transfer any sort of goods from around the island to wherever I need, and also any other predators won't be any harm to me, because these guys will easily shred them to pieces if I have 5 or 6 of them. There's no way of me dying if I have 5 or 6 Argentavises covering me. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Now, also just to mention, guys, I know this series has been a bit all over the show. I have done a lot off camera, and you may notice there was a structure here just next to these spikes, and I've got rid of that. I've knocked it all down. I think it was just a bit too ugly, but also Nick is over there as well, so I don't want to be affecting his series either with a big ugly building here. So I think I will be moving base location. I think I'm going to head more inland, and maybe that's what we'll do in the next episode. Actually, I think that is what we'll do. So from this point onwards, I will be showing pretty much everything I do in game. Some episodes may be voiced over instead of me actually speaking at the same time as playing the game. So I'll record the footage, and then in editing I will speak over the actual game. That's more than likely what I'll do on a lot of them. The reason for that is I do live with a girlfriend, so it can be hard to record videos sometimes. So, but anyway, guys, we'll get through that. I'll come get back to you guys when this guy's tamed up. Unfortunately, I'm not actually high enough level to create a saddle, but these guys will be helpful nevertheless. So I'll bring you back when this guy's awake, and I'll see you soon. Alright, guys, so here we go. The Argentavis is now awake. He's woke up with a he's level 53 now. I think that's a plus 17. I can't quite remember what he was on originally, but there we go. Level 53 is. So his health, voice crack. His health is 949 now, which is pretty decent. That is it's definitely not bad. His weight is 456. Could be better. I say could be, definitely could be better. And his melee damage is 221. So overall, not terrible for a level 53. The only thing is, with these guys, I'm going to be using them mainly for weight, and I can move around. I can look to relocate my base to the centre of the map, and that way we can sort of crack on with the series and get properly set up. This base is always going to be temporary. I mean, it's not my ideal location personally. I do like to be in the thick of it, so I will be moving to the centre. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and you have found it educational in the sense of taming Argentavises, and I hope you found it entertaining as well. So make sure you drop a like if you did. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. If you didn't enjoy the video, make sure you leave a comment letting me know why. Maybe there's something wrong with my graphics, maybe I'm a bit boring, maybe you want to see more content. Make sure you leave comments down below and let me know what your favourite dino is in Ark. I'll see you guys soon.